I just mentioned that I'm actually a lot better at yelling. So I think it's an important skill set for a coach. But I did my topic this year on team offense, and for those of you who have heard my talks before, I do a lot of defensive stuff, and I was mainly coaching the defensive unit for the past 2 seasons. I've had some coaching changes this fall, and it's kind of forced me to take over the offensive side of the ball, but in doing so, it really made me revisit a lot of what we do at Kennesaw, how we can improve at Kennesaw. I did a lot of reflecting this fall and how to make it better. So this is a really good exercise kind of right now because I'm actually currently in the process of putting together my playbook for season. So really kind of got the wheels turning. I'll share this slideshow with anyone that wants it if you just email me, but something I do is I always in my playbook put our strategies and make them clear and concise. So as a unit, and those of you that have heard my talks, I talk a lot about stats. I track stats. For offense, our goal is to get at least 30 shots a game. I look back at our team. We did at least 30 shots 8 times last season, but we averaged overall 29, so we were really close to that number. As a unit, we want to score 15 goals per game. That's based on last year's and the years before numbers, so we feel like we can win if we're hitting those benchmarks. I was really upset that we averaged 13 goals last year, but 14 and a half the year before. So when I was kind of going through things, I realized I needed to make some changes this year because I don't want to go backwards, and I think we shouldn't with the talent that we have. 100% retention on wide shots. So my girls behind need to be retaining that ball. That's a stat that I track that's not in the stats after the game. Retain possession on greater than 50% of rebounds on goalies, pads, or pipes. Diversity in scoring. If you're on the field, what are you doing? I think I get asked a lot about like, well, I didn't make any mistakes, but I'm like, you also didn't do anything. So, so we made it really hard for the other girl that's now getting double teamed every single possession. So really trying to value their minutes and their time in the game, whether it's with assists or goals. 8-meter percentage, this is an area when I looked that I thought that we did poorly in, and we have a lot of, our style of play is a lot of girls that are good dodgers and good drivers, and so we get put on the 8 a lot because we go so hard to goal, and we're only converting right now at 43% or something like that, and I think we need to be over 50% on 8-meters, so we're going to really work hard on this. I hope that you guys see a different brand of lacrosse when you come out this spring to watch us. Our ride, I focus a lot on ride, so I know Sam just talked a lot about transition and ride. We want to score at least 2 goals from toss turnovers in the ride. Those are second chance points. And then these are some of the best practices, so understanding team scouts thoroughly, understanding our offensive plays and running them efficiently, using our glossary of terms. My first year I talked a lot about our language and our glossary of terms, and we have very specific terms for every single thing that we do. So we want our girls to be very efficient with their language. And put a name on every single pass. That's something you can start at the youth level. I really hate, one of my big pet peeves is when a pass gets thrown in and like 2 girls kind of like one lunges for it and then one like that it was actually thrown to doesn't get it because the other girl thought it was thrown to her. And they go, well, I didn't know the pass was, coming to me. Well, you should. So I think a name needs to be on every pass, especially when it's passing into big spaces. And then quickly move on to the next play. So these are some of our, so this is kind of like the front page of our playbook. Offensive strategy for us, we want to push fast breaks. If we are unable to score, we slow break, and then we get into our offense. My might be a little hard to read. Some of our keys to good offensive movement, kind of healthy habits to be in, always being a threat, always catching with your feet like moving, not feet flat to the ground. I think this is something that a lot of the local I watch a lot of the high school games, especially during playoffs, and I think this is something, I see so many missed opportunities, because the attackers aren't reading the defenders. A defender will turn, they'll have an opportunity to backdoor cut and they don't take it. Things like that, or a defender will be really flat-footed on her approach and the attacker doesn't dodge off of it. Shooting the score, that's a big one for us. Sometimes we just shoot to shoot. This is something that we apply, shot clock. This taking advantage of every single play. So I think plays off of fouls, plays off of wide shots, putting the ball in quick while the defense is kind of unsettled is a really great opportunity that a lot of times people don't take advantage of. And then I like this one. I think every player that steps foot on my field or any field really should have an overwhelming confidence. And I think that that's contagious. I think when your best players come out confident, your coaching staff comes out confident. It's an energy that the other team feels before the ball's even put into play. So those are some of our. So I did do the terminology my first year, and this is just some of our offensive terms. So we have very specific terms. I don't want to take too much time, but calls that mean something to everybody on the field in one syllable I think are really important. So for example, Mike. We call Mike on the field, that's a favorable matchup, so that's a mismatch. I try to use terms that make sense, so to mismatch, like Mike, MI, like me, my play, I think that makes sense. Like you're letting your teammates know I'm in a mismatch, set me up. I think that's a really good one. Some of these are specific to shot clocks. Another thing is bases. That's the strategy we take for 8 meters. And it's an acronym. I'll go through that a little bit more. So an example of bases, and I do my clinics a lot, and I do 8 meter sections during my player clinics. And I hate when players get fouled hard in the 8 and they get the possession for the 8 meter and they're winded and they're in pain and they're fixing their goggles and then they really rush their 8 meter shot and then the goalie saves it. And so essentially what they did was just kind of allow that team to get away with fouling them. So our bases, it kind of is a reset. I tell girls in lacrosse to treat the 8 meter shots the way that basketball players treat foul shots. They have a systematic approach to their foul shots. It's a routine. They kind of step up to the line, they may dribble twice, they take 2 deep breaths and they shoot and they make sure that they sink that foul shot. In lacrosse, I see these girls with their like held over their like butt and their goggles off, and they just grab the ball and then they rush and then they throw it like stick side high to the goalie. So ball down. So for bases, for what I do is it's ball down. So don't put the ball in your stick when you get fouled. The refs won't put it into play if you don't have possession of it. So just put the ball on the 8 meter. Tell the girl as everyone's kind of clearing out, put the ball on the 8 meters that the ref sends you to. Take a step back off of the 8 meter. Take a deep breath. Scan. 8 meter steps are a little different, so everyone's going to be really wide. But scan. See what you have. See where the goalie's stance is. Take that moment. Take that deep breath. You're assessing. That's A. You're assessing. S is stance. So now you're going to step up to the ball, you're going to scoop it up, and you're going to get in your stance. E is execute, and then S is score. So you're either setting someone up for a scoring play or you're setting yourself up for a scoring play. But either way, it's going to be scoring play. So here's an example of that. So there's the foul. She got checked to the net. It's a little blurry. So if you notice she doesn't have the possession of the ball, she kind of just pops it off. She stands up, she stands back, she's breathing, she's seeing who's open, she's seeing what she wants to do, then she picks up the ball. Now she's ready. Okay, so that's just something that I like to do. Another one, this is another basis where we end up not shooting. We have this hash, this floating hash that girls tend to not like very much. So she'd already gone through the whole stand up and then take a breath. And we're going to swing it to the back side and create that scoring opportunity. So a lot of times people with the floating hashes, they don't really like to shoot those low angle shots, but a lot of times the other team, they're man down on the back side, so if you move the ball efficiently, you'll have a 2v1, because they have the one girl that fouled should be back here, I think she's below. Then you have the other girl that's on this hash. Sometimes they have a third girl on the goal line hash. So they have 3 girls on ball. So that means that on the back side, you can set up for scoring play. Even with the new 8-meter setup, you can, on the whistle, pop somebody out, swing the ball, pop somebody out, and have a 2v1 on the back side. And maybe that's a better look than the bad hash mark for shooting. So some of the other index terms that I use, numbers, 30, Robbie, again, Robbie is roll out and back. So if I'm in a double team and I don't see who's open, but I hear Robbie from someone behind me, I know I'm just going to turn, run out of the double, and I have a teammate. So it's very precise language to help in specific situations. Those are some of our offensive terms. So some of the other key points are offensive, changing the point of attack a lot. I feel like sometimes, our girls do this too, where they kind of get comfy in one spot. I call, for my field, if this is the 8 meters, I draw an imaginary line right down the middle. That's my Z line. I call it a Z line. So if anyone on my team ever talks about a Z line, I mean that. But it's right down here, and so you want to move the ball through X or through across the Z line a lot. The reason why, as most of you know, when the ball goes from this side to this side, all of the defenders up top, they have to, can you stand up here, Andrea? Thank you. So if I'm defending up top and the ball's behind, and the ball's behind here, as it moves here, if I watch the ball and turn this way, she's backdoor cutting me this way. Sorry, we both know it again. So I see this wrong. I see this done wrong, like in every game. So if the ball's here, what's your name? Angela? Okay. So the goal line's here, Angela's behind with the ball, I'm guarding up top high, and then kind of where the through X is like back here. If Angela moves the ball, as the ball's in the air, the defender should actually be checking her girl and then flipping her hips as the ball's in the air. And so if you watch,
tend to open the wrong way, right?
So yeah, so they want to watch the ball. So they see the ball here, and they see the ball move, and they go like this, and then they get into position. So when I talk about missed opportunities, I watched a lot of high school lacrosse, and I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone that plays up high could have like a hat trick every single game. So teaching them, that's when you look, right? So while your girl at X might want to hold the ball waiting for that feed, it might be more advantageous to move it every 3 seconds between the 2 spots at X, and then have these girls just waiting. One of their defenders is going to mess up. I mean, we see it in our film. We're going to show you some examples of that. But so you really want to change the point of attack, whether it's high to low, low to high, or across the Z line as often as possible, to create the defensive, like, people messing up. So this is changing the point attack high to low. So it's off the draw. We're pushing, we're in white. We kick it behind, we don't have it, we kick it behind. We go through X, we carry it through X. We challenge on the crease. We don't have it, we kick it across the top of the Z line, we dodge the elbow, we kick it behind again, and then back to the middle for the shot. So in that one possession, we went like high to low, through X, challenge the crease, up high, across the Z line, dodge the alley, went behind, and then hit a feeder. Everyone got that? That's the order. Okay. So, but I like to work my team. I want my team to have layups.
Kind of like the balancing you're talking about.
I want my team to have layups. So this, that high-low or low-high or through X, that's going to create layup opportunities, especially for some of your good players. Okay, so here we are at Marquette, because we're inside, so I know which film this is. 2v1 on the backside. I heard Sam from Mercer talk about, I think she called it something else, 2 and 2 or something. She said, get 2 and then 2 passes. I forgot. Were you guys paying attention? Yeah.
Draw 2, move 2.
Yeah. Okay. So I call it dodge, pull, dodge, because you have to draw 2, you have to dodge really hard to get that slide to go. So it's the same thing, I think, of what she was saying. So, ball is behind through X, up high, strong side cut or X cut. Now we're dodging, now we're kicking it, swinging it across Z line, and then that girl in the middle slip the middle for the open pass. So the dodge started on, this side. The scoring opportunity was on this side. I think that's the biggest difference between high school and college is like in high school the best player that's dodging, that's the point of attack where they're scoring from usually. But in college, that initial point of attack that we're challenging on is usually setting up the exact other side. Or, vice versa. But so I think if you can incorporate some of this, and make your team really good. Reading a defense. So I talked about the check flips and stuff like that. So I try to get my girls to like watch a lot of film and to like take what the defense gives you. Like I think any game I really focus on the other team's defenses and what are they giving us? What are they going to give today? What do they do well and what are they weak on? So we're in black. This is that Stetson. Taking the ball down. Pushed. Didn't have it. Kicked it behind. Went through X. Look up top here. You see we have some, as the ball went through X, I'll push it back a little bit. As the ball went through X, you'll see the girls that are defending up across the top. Their backs are too tall. Watch this. Did you see that? They're getting turned around. You want to watch it one more time? I don't know is my cursor not on the presentation? So watch the girl kind of on the second and kind of guarding number 7. Kind of watch her as the play develops. Ball's behind. See how she turns? She's lost. So she was watching her girl a little too much and then she wasn't there for the slide package. So that's kind of bad defense. Here we are, no numbers, but we still want to push because sometimes defense just messes up. So, unsettled play. So you push in transition, right? And if you have numbers, you tell your girls to go take it. And then what happens a lot is there's like this, like they push in transition and then they kill the ball because they're like, oh God, we made it down here. And this is fantastic. It was, the length of the field doesn't change, but, and so they kind of like stop, like they don't have a fast break, so then they just kill the ball, and what that does is allows all the defenders to figure out like who's guarding who, and then they might even shift and get their matchups how they want them. So those unsettled opportunities where it's not a fast break but it's not settled, that's a really good time to challenge for some layup goals, because that's really when you're most likely to have the defense have maybe a miscommunication of who's guarding who. While there might be all 7 back, they might think that they're watching number 10 when really their other girl is watching 10 and they should be watching 6 or whatever. So just setting a few putters or challenging them to see if you can score a quick one off of that is really nice. I don't want to spend a lot of time on drills because I think you guys got a lot of drill concepts, but so we never do the same practice twice. So I've been coaching for like 14 years. I've never had the same practice twice. And we'll do the same drills maybe, but every practice is different because I want to keep challenging my players. So to create offense and to like teach people how to move, we give them parameters. So I talked about changing the point of attack, and it's one thing to go to practice and say, you guys have to move the ball through Z line, you have to move the ball through X, but how do you do that, right? So like, you could do where you just kind of cone off, like make 4 quadrants of the field, and like put 20 seconds on the clock. They're dodging here, now you're moving, and the ball has to hit each quadrant, and each person has to be a threat as they have the ball. Something as simple as that, getting them to move the ball. One of the things that is one of my pet peeves with that is when they decide, okay, like, coach told me to move the ball, and I'm going to move the ball by carrying it in a giant circle all the way around the 12, right? And it's like, what are you doing? All of the defense can shift with you. So making sure that you're moving the ball by passing it, I think is key. But so the 3v3s, things like that, we do a lot because we want lots of touches and we want them to learn how to work off of each other. When my freelance offense, which is what we're in most of the time, we don't go into plays a lot. My freelance offense involves flips, fake flips, picks, on ball, picks, off ball, X cuts or strong side cuts, low to high cuts, dodge, pull, pull, dodge. Those components are a piece of every single one of our freelance offenses. So how do you build that in and let them just like, a lot of times like the issues that girls are like, well, I don't want to get in the way of the ball handler, but then I'm just standing here and coach told me not to stand here, so then I moved, but then I was in the way, and then coach yelled at me because I was in the way of the dodger. So have those quadrants, and you can kind of have some general rules with them. So like, as you're doing like 3v3s, it's easier because there's more space, right? So you can be like, hey, like here's the Z line. We're going to move the ball through X or up top across the Z line. And if you're directly involved with a play, like, and the dodger's here, you can let that dodger here. But then if you're cutting, you can't go like across the Z line or something like that. So that you still give the dodger space. And then if you're cutting off ball, like you can cut to here, maybe bounce here, maybe curl over here. There's a lot that you can do without actually getting in the way, but being productive off ball. I actually think that you should be working harder off ball than when you have the ball, which I think is kind of get that into their heads. Like, what are you doing off ball to help your team? I think in high school a lot of times, like, you have like 1 or 2 really good players, and then you have like maybe a girl that you're hiding on offense because you don't want her to play on defense, and so then you hide her on offense. And so give that person a role. I think if you teach them how to do X cuts for the best player, I think that they'll feel like they're part of it because they're creating that space and they're helping set up a scoring play. And really focus on like how to set good picks. I think picks are something, especially the girls that maybe aren't as strong offensively, they can set good picks to get people open and create those plays and feel like a part of that play without necessarily being the scorer. I have a lot of college freshmen that come in that like roll off picks wrong and stuff like that at Division I, so I don't know how they missed that day in high school, but spend a lot of time with picks, spend a lot of times with flips. This weekend I coached a clinic. It was really cold this past weekend, but I spent my entire station with just how to go off of a flip pass and then how to fake flip it. So it's something that gave them a lot of confidence, and that's something that's really kind of easy to do, and it's going to create like maybe a switch on defense or a mismatch on defense. It's super effective, but have fun with those little 3v3s and stuff like that. Catching really tight passes inside the 8. If you do like a lot of tennis ball work with your mini 3v3s, they'll get like softer with their hands with catching those really tight inside feeds. What else here? Sevens drills. So most people probably do sevens as a part of almost every practice, but realistically, like sevens are super easy when you set up with like 2 behind, and the girl that's maybe your best player starts with the ball, and like the 5 girls are across the top. So we very rarely do sevens like that. We'll do sevens starting from maybe a double team, and we make sure that every single girl has a chance to be in that double team. You know, and what are you doing if you're adjacent to that double team? Well, if you're not open, you need to be cutting through so that the second person away from the ball can pop. And then get the ball out of the double, and now you have to find the backside because that's where your 2v1 is. So get that ball out of the double, don't carry it back into where all the defense rotated, and find the 2v1 on the backside. So that's something we'll do with sevens. We might start something that I noticed last year was I felt like we weren't taking advantage of a lot of the fouls that the other team had on us. So like those fouls where they put you on the dot behind, I feel like we really didn't take advantage of those. So now we have play calls from that. So we have set pieces. We're allowed to free movement off ball too. So that, but you can still have set pieces where they just put somebody behind the ball. So you should have a 2v1 on the backside. So how are you going to send people? So we have some set pieces I can share with you at the end. Start off of offensive draw. So we'll do sevens, but we'll start from a draw at midfield, and then like if the other team wins it, they just grab possession and roll it to the restraining line, and then we start up. So we'll play half field sometimes with sevens, but off of a draw. The other thing we do, which my team absolutely loves, is when offense makes a mistake rather than riding, I'll make them, it's like part of their conditioning is if they make a mistake rather than riding, I just have all 7 girls sprint to the opposite 30. My defense does a clearing pattern, even though no one's like riding on them. And then I'll tell them which girl to hit after she pivots off of the opposite 30. So it's, you know, if they're behind Gage and they make a mistake and they throw it out of bounds, they're running 70 yards to the opposite 30 while my defense is clearing the ball. And I'll say like pass to Susie as Susie turns off that, and then it kind of creates a transition. But it reminds them that it's not okay to make those mistakes. Like, I get really mad at practice when, you know, offense grabs the ball and they start the play in sevens and they like throw it over someone's head, and then they just like tell the goalie to grab another ball. And no, that's not what happens in the game. You don't just tell the goalie to grab another ball and the offense doesn't get to start over again. Like, you're running 70 yards before you get another chance. So I try to mimic the game in practice. And they'll take care of the ball better if you send them on a little sprint to the other side of the field. So that's something, but I think my girls actually, as much as they get really pissed when someone drops the ball and they have to run 70 yards. The thing is like, I think we'd rather do sprints during drills anyway, rather than like at the end of practice. So, something to think about. In-game management, so this is something I think, did anyone come to Kennesaw Games last year? Some of you? Okay. I thought, kind of when I was reflecting, I thought that we did a poor job of preparing our team for face guards, and we're prepared this year. So, we had a girl that ended up being a freshman standout, and like, 3 games into the season, teams caught on and they started putting their like senior defenders on her, and so then it got a little bit harder for not just her because she's in a face guard against the best player now because people have scouted us, but also the girls around her like didn't know what to do to help her and to help the team. So we have set pieces with face guards, and I think that I love when other teams, I always in the past had loved when other teams face guarded my best players because I felt like now you just gave 6 other girls on my team an opportunity for layups. But they have to actually know how to do that. So in your sevens, if you have the probability where you have one key player or maybe one key assister, practice face guards so that the girls around them, like usually the girl that's getting face guard, like she's the best player, she knows kind of how to handle it, but then the other girls are clueless, and so practice that in practice, what you want to do, and I have some set pieces for that I can show you. And then this is just in-game management best practices. So like running offensive sets with whoever's in the game, like, like I'll get my second line middies in and then they're like, oh gosh, what am I doing on this play? Well, you better know, right? So even if you're like maybe in a different spot, like maybe someone got injured on a test and now the girl that usually plays behind on the play isn't in and you got pushed down, you need to know that spot. So when you're running your plays, while you might have ideal spots for them to be, I would make sure that everyone has a very thorough understanding of the play. A lot of what ifs, your man ups, your man downs, scenarios. We do a lot of scenarios with our scrimmage portion of practice, like if you're up by a goal and your team is currently man up with possession, but there's 45 seconds left of regulation, like what are you going to do? You're man up.
Pass the ball.
Are you going to pass the ball around? Are your girls going to shoot? Do you know what they're going to do? Or are you going to try to yell it from the sidelines, but you're on the far side and they're on this side, and then they're going to tell you that they didn't hear you? So like, and you don't have any timeout left. Like, I like to do like the doomsday scenarios, right? Like, so, one day and I started doing this every year, like I just put a lot of scenarios and typed them and cut them on little pieces of paper and put them in a hat. And so like each play, I just let a girl pick and I'm like, okay, go. Like you don't have time to talk about it, go. So it might be a man up, it might be a man down, it might be this tie game. And then that's what they play that out and then they grab another one. So that was kind of a fun thing to do, but it really got them thinking about these different things. In the same scenario, like, so just kind of different things. And you can have fun with it. Because what you don't want is to be in that scenario in like, I don't know, the state final, and it's the first time you're in that scenario. Like, that's not good. You need to do your job at practice to prepare them for those. So kind of different things. Some other scenarios that we do, and this is kind of game management all over the field, not just offense, but like, if there's a draw, if there's a foul on a shot, and then that you're going to be awarded possession at the center circle, but your draws person like really isn't like your best, like if you have possession, you don't need your draws person to start the play. Why don't you put your fastest girl there, to start the play? It doesn't need to be your draw taker starting it. Things like that. Like we know if we get fouled on a shot and we're going to get awarded the draw, like Abby is not going to be the person starting with the ball in the center circle. While she's very good at taking the draw, Sienna's going to start with the ball in the center circle. So like have those things already spelled out to your team. If you're winning by 2 goals and there's 20 seconds left and you just want to make sure they don't get anything fast, maybe instead of having your middies on the circle, have your middies back on, have all 7 people back on defense, on the defensive restraining line, and put 2 attackers on the circle with your draws for all, so that you know, like, you have 7 people back, there's no way they're fast breaking. Like, that's game management stuff that we go through a lot. That, to me, it kind of makes sense, but it's worth telling your kids, so you're not, like, yelling at them while the play is going on. Okay, I think I'm doing okay with time. I know this is really late. It's our schedule. These are pictures. So, and I did want to get into my Google Drive real fast. I need to pull it up, but we start our season on the road to Arizona State. And then we have, I think, 8 or 9 home games. Our games are free. Bring your whole team. And so that's our schedule, and I think that you'll see some really good competition this year. And our summer camp, I have guest coaches from both Mercer and Winthrop coming, and those are the dates. We don't have registration open yet, I just kind of found those dates. And then I wanted to get my Google Drive out for you guys. Uh-oh. Is it GT?
No, it's the Euro something.
Does anyone have questions why I do this?
So when you talked about them pulling a scenario out of off a piece of paper, did you just pulled one and then you said it and then you let them figure it out, or how did you go through that?
I didn't let them figure it out. I threw the ball in and they had to like figure out very quickly.
So did everyone so to say the papers, you're man down with 30 seconds left, you have to score. What did you tell them that's what it was, or did you pull somebody out and then?
Yeah, or I'll let someone from the sideline like pick one and yell it in.
And then they just had to work to figure out.
Yeah, and I just pull a defender out. Okay. Yeah. So, but that's kind of the fun stuff. Like, take your best player out of the game at that time, right? Like, what happens when your best player's on a yellow card and you're like in a tie game with 30 seconds? So I like to kind of do those things. I was going to show you guys some of my set pieces. I'm going to draw them real quick because I'm having issues. If anyone wants my playbook, you can have it. Just email me. Don't share it with my opponent. But really, realistically, a play is only as good as the players running the play. So, for face guard, one of the set pieces we do that I'm putting in, which I think is going to be super effective. So, face guard, Sienna, she gets face guard number 7. I don't know if you know who she is. She's very good. So she'll get in a face guard. This is her. She's being guarded. She realizes she's in a face guard. She's the one that has to announce it. So we have a call. She's going to call 30. That's the play, 30. So what we're going to do is simple, like all the girls are going to start. They're in their normal motion where they're just passing and moving off of each other. So Sienna realizes she's in a face guard. She calls 30. That starts it. They now kind of work the ball behind. As the ball's going behind, they all start muddling in like a little stack thing. Sienna starts just moving out of the play towards the 30 as they're kind of getting organized in a muddle. So she's up here inside the 30, but barely. This girl echoes the call, 30, that's when it's going to go live. She's going to pass the ball through X. As the ball is in the air going through X, Sienna's going to step over the restraining line. My deep midi. standing on this side of the restraining line, 30 yards away from, 40 yards away from Sienna, is gonna cut in. Hopefully for an open pass. I'm hoping the defender that's guarding my girl on the restraining line gets scared about going outside and hesitates, so that we can come in, and then this defender that's still on the inside of the restraining line has to either recover, so that we can have a wide open goal. So, because the person guarding this girl is a line attacker. Line attackers, like, are taught, like, that there's a wall there, right, and that they don't want to go over. So, it's gonna force either a line attacker into the zone, or it's gonna force this defender to have to play recovery team. So that's like the kind of set pieces that we have, but I don't want to have to call a timeout to do this. I want it done in practice so that, okay, all of a sudden, you know, they switched into the space guard defense. The girl getting face guard, they'll know that they're getting face guard. Now she's going to call that play, she's taking ownership of it, and we're going to make them pay for it. If you make them pay for it, then a lot of times the face guard doesn't stick, and then they decide, no, we can't do this because other people are scoring.
Coach, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
So if someone's face guarding your player, is your general strategy to create an opportunity for someone else, not like fight them off the screens to get the person face guard?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
So like, if you're kinda, not to get the person who's being face guarded, force them to get open, but to kinda get it to someone else, is that what your strategy is?
Yes and no. I think that, face guards are usually on either the highest scorer for your team or the best assister. Cause they either wanna stop the person that can feed the ball, or they wanna stop the person that's putting the ball in the cage. So like, but then if your other girls are pulling their weight and scoring wide open goals,
Right.
how many are they gonna let those go in before they decide we can't be in this because it's ruining our defensive slide packages? So like so like we have formation inside, formation outside. So formation inside will work, the girl getting face guarded will stay in the middle and work picks on and off ball. I'm not a huge fan of on ball picks unless it's with a face guard. And the reason why is those on ball picks when the face guarder is the one saying the on ball pick, if they try to get through it, the dodger is gonna have she's gonna have a wide open dodge. If they try to switch, well now you have the mismatch you wanted, and the girl that's now trying to face guard your best player is probably not their best defender. You know, so it creates that same type of scenario like you see in basketball with like, you know, the high-low picks with their like centers and the guards kind of thing. Like it forces their hand of either they're gonna switch, but then that's not the matchup they want. Now you can like set that girl up, or they're gonna try to fight through and the girl that she's setting the pick for is going. But like the other thing that we do is our outside formation, which like so simple. This is Sienna, she's in a face guard here. We'll put like our second best dodger like right here. Because the slide, so we want her not to dodge the alley, we want her to dodge with her right hand towards Sienna, because you know this girl is not leaving. So the slide has to come from 2 slides away, and like this girl over here might just like, if she's smart, she might like pretend to go hit somebody and like kind of occupy this defender even more. So this slide becomes impossible. It's like a 10-yard slide. So, set up your second best dodger too. That's fine. I'll take it. And then if the face guard does slide off of it, then you have the draw clubs open probably. But I like to prepare them for just like the worst case scenario. We also have stuff plays off of draws. I think Sam did some stuff on draws. But I think sometimes people they're like, oh, but your girls are in college and they know. They actually don't know. Like, they don't know. We have to tell them. draws, with this new draw rule, right, where you're like not moving on the restraining lines, what I'm seeing a lot is people just hanging out on the restraining line. So if your middies here and your other middies are here, and you're attacking this way, like, have like set pieces off of these draws. So you have your attackers here, and your attacker. So if we have a clean win, clean draw win, we're gonna push. Oh, well, here's what we're really gonna do. Sam's gone. So if we have a clean win, before the ball is actually even in possession, when the whistle's blown, we're moving. We're not moving over any lines, so it's not a foul. So on the whistle, on the draw whistle, have a fast attacker cherry pick on the outside on both sides. Pairs, like you still have your defender's back. So cherry pick on the whistle blowing, not on, they like to stand and watch, and like, oh, we won, and then they like to go. Or, oh, we lost, and then they like pretend to play defense in the midfield when they really don't. So like, you know, like, send your best player on a leading pass. You don't even have, this girl, she wins this clean, and she knows that this girl's streaking down the outside. That ball doesn't even have to be a clean pass, it just has to get up and over. She can get it on the bounce. Her defender's behind her. It doesn't matter if it's on the bounce or if it's a clean, as long as it's long and it stays in bounds and doesn't go sideways. And then if she doesn't have a wide open, this girl who also cheated can get the ball through X. Now we can move it through the Z line, and now we can hit a midi coming in because we went low, high to low, low to high. If it's not a clean win, you can also move like all your attackers here. That'll make people mad. All the people are going to be so mad that didn't stay. So move on, if you have like a really good midi here and you can win the draw, great, move all your attackers over here. Have one of them cheat, like I just said, off the whistle. Have this girl now, like if this girl's fast and she can get her girl on her back, you don't want your girl standing here because they're creating a wall with their defenders. You don't want that. You want them, shift them all over and let her run right through. If it's not a clean win, I think girls have trouble getting to space. So like, it's not a clean win, it's a scrum for ground ball. We don't have people open. These defenders should know what's going on. They should know their role when it's not a clean win or this girl gets doubled. She's gonna Robbie. That's my call, right? That's my roll back. So she's Robbieing out of trouble into space. This girl's popping, not straight in a line, but like to space in the corner for a pass. This girl's popping out. This girl's popping to space. This girl's popping back. So that we have this back outlet, this cross pass. Now this attacker here is coming up. Well, this attacker's coming up. This attacker's going back. And then we can hit this attacker because the field's wide open. Or we can hit a midi coming out, streaking down the field. So like, people like see this happen in like college games and they're like, wow, these girls, they just like read it so well. Someone told them to get to those spots. So like you can tell them to get to their spots. They'll learn to do that and then they'll see it works. Like some of it's that they read well, but like what I see, especially with this like not being allowed to cross in and challenge on the ball control, is I see girls just like out to lunch on the restraining lines. And I think that the restraining lines, I think being held, you can add more set pieces because it's not 10 people in a scrum on the draw circle. You can make plays off of it. And everyone has a role. but you can have some fun off of those. So that's all I have. I promise we'll score at least 15 goals a game this year.
What was her name?
Did anybody have any questions for Coach Maness?
If you want my playbook, email me. It's a Google Drive, I'll share it to you. If you want the PowerPoint, email me.
Lauren, I saw you share something with me. Is that your PowerPoint?
No, it's
From
an
earlier
PowerPoint.
today? Okay, never mind. So, as soon as I get someone who is a little smarter than me, we will get all of the PowerPoints from the coaches and put them up on the Georgia Lacrosse Foundation website and send a link out to everybody that registered. So,
She's sharing
if you did
yours?
not register, you're not gonna get that email. So if you don't get it in a couple of days, you might want to send me an email. I'll shoot it over to you, okay? Thank you all for coming.
Did you get her
I know
email?
we went a little bit longer than